Seems reasonable.
Yep, straight to hell. Hang on, I gotta bring up the musics.
The what?
The musics.
Well, I don't need to be here
What
for this.
music?
Bullshit, you don't.
I got Forza to go play.
Really? This episode is not brought to you by Forza, dear listener.
Please, let it be. I will take free cards.
Actually, I take that back. Yes, Forza, Microsoft, hit us up. We love you. PlayStation sucks. Unless PlayStation, you want to sponsor us, then in which case, PlayStation, you don't suck. Send us Spider-Man. This episode is also not brought to you by Spider-Man.
But please, PC Master Race, please send me a video card.
PC Master Race, please send him a video card. Oh boy.
Get off the fucking ledge. You're gonna fall apart. There you go. Idiot.
Hey everybody, welcome to Let's Die, the His vs. Hers Guide to the Apocalypse, the podcast. Welcome to another very special after-school special. In these episodes, we usually dick around and play a game or something. My name's Bret, mountain man from West Virginia. Joining me, as always, is the lovely and effervescent Taylor. Say hi.
Hi.
There she is. She's still alive, folks, since the last time we heard her just a few days ago for you, a few minutes ago for me. She's still here. We're going to play some Skyrim on the Amazon Echo. Computer. Oh, I should probably say the words correctly. Computer. Play Skyrim.
Welcome back to Skyrim, adventurer. You had chosen to walk towards the Nord village. Once at the Nord village, a dark elf priest greets you. He tells you of the terrible evil lurking in a nearby mountain pass that has been terrorizing the Nord village.
Go ahead, Tay.
What
Do you wish to proceed?
He just told us. Oh. Yes.
Do you wish to proceed?
Yes.
A narrow bridge of ancient Nordic design stands before you. A wild-eyed Forsworn blocks your path. He looks tough and totally psychotic. You can attack with weapon, cast spell, use shout, or flee. What would you like to do?
I'm gonna cast spell.
You can attack with weapon, cast spell, use shout, or flee.
Cast
What
spell.
would you like to do?
Cast spell.
Your frostbite stings the Forsworn. Your magic skill has increased to level 2.
Yeah, boy.
You have learned new spells. The Forsworn wildly swings his dual swords. You take 7 damage.
Oh.
What would you like to do?
Shout.
Foos. Your mighty Thum crashes into your foe. The Forsworn is resistant to that attack.
Oh, shit.
Your Thum grows mighty. Your shout skill has increased to level 2. The Forsworn wildly swings his dual swords. You take 7 damage. What would you like to do?
Use weapon.
Your dagger eviscerates the Forsworn.
Yeah.
The Forsworn looks up at you and promises that 3 more will rise in his place, right before you decapitate him. You survived the battle. Your health is at 86. Your skill with arms has increased to level 2. You loot the Forsworn's remains, find a fine iron war axe, and cast aside your old weapon. There are 2 paths before you, a frosted footpath and a frost-covered scramble. Which do you choose?
Frosted footpath.
You venture further up the mountain. You find yourself on a narrow, twisting path. An adoring fan has been stalking you for weeks. He's harmless but so annoying. He really needs to die. You can attack with weapon, cast spell, use shout, or flee. What would you like to do?
I'm gonna use a weapon here, bud.
You can attack with weapon,
Damn it.
cast spell, use shout, or flee.
Use
what
weapon.
would you like to do?
Use weapon.
Your war axe rends the adoring fan.
Oh, that
Your
was the
skill
fan?
with arms has increased to level 3. The
That's-
adoring
that's
fan
how
goes in for a
they
hug,
call
but
his
you dodge
fans.
aside. What would you like to do?
In case anyone actually likes listening to him, just to let you know, he will
You can
attack you
attack
with a
with
battle
weapon,
axe.
cast
He sees
spell, use
Do
shout,
what?
or flee. What would you like to do?
What'd you say, Taylor?
I'm saying that you like to hit people with battle axes,
Why not?
especially if they're fans of yours.
Yeah, apparently. I don't have any fans, so I don't know how to react to them.
Battle axe.
Battle axe?
Obviously,
Seems as good as any other.
What would you like to do?
What would you like to do, Taylor? Oh my god.
I would like to just shout at
You can
them because
attack
I
with
feel like
weapon,
that's much more
cast
reasonable
spell,
than
use
attacking
shout,
them with a
or
battle
flee.
axe.
What would you like to do?
Shout.
Foos. Your mighty shout
Foos.
slams the adoring fan into the dirt.
So mighty.
Your shout skill has increased to level 3. You now command unrelenting force. The adoring fan tries to give you a hug. You take 5 damage. What would you like to do?
Hug him back, bro.
You can attack with weapon, cast spell, use shout, or flee. What would you like to do?
Flee.
You can attack with weapon,
Nope.
cast spell,
Nope.
use shout,
Nope.
or flee.
Yup.
What would you like to do?
Flee.
You can attack with weapon,
Fucking-
cast spell, use shout, or flee. What would you like to do?
Flee.
The mighty dragonborn runs from his fight. You won't be relaying this tale to the bards anytime soon.
Thank God.
There are 2 ways forward, a snowberry-lined footpath and a dangerous detour trail. Which do you choose?
Dangerous detour trail.
You venture further up the mountain. Sniff, sniff. Is that frost troll you smell? No, something else. A deranged Khajiit looks at you with wild eyes, like a kitten staring at a ball of yarn. Which makes sense, you suppose. You can attack with weapon, cast spell, use shout, or flee. What would you like to do?
Cast spell.
Your raised zombie bites the deranged Khajiit. Your magicka
Khajiit.
swells with arcane power. Your magic skill has increased to level 3.
Whoop,
The
whoop.
deranged Khajiit scratches at your face.
Ooh.
You take 8 damage. What
That's
would
not
you
good.
like to do?
Use weapon.
Your war axe rends the deranged Khajiit. The deranged Khajiit scratches at your face. You take 8 damage. What would you like to do?
Use catnip.
You can attack with weapon, cast
No,
spell,
I should've known
use
that was
shout,
coming.
or flee. What would you like to do?
Shout. Shout.
Fusro,
Let
your
it
unrelenting
out.
force tosses the deranged Khajiit into the air. He crashes to the ground. The deranged Khajiit croaks one last breath, defeated. You are victorious. Your health is at 65. There are 2 ways forward, a snow-covered trail and an exposed ridge. Which do you choose?
Exposed ridge.
We exposed ridge.
You venture further up the mountain. You peer down over the icy precipice and wonder why you ever came to these frozen lands in the first place.
Taylor, are we murderers?
Sensing danger, you open your inventory
Yes.
searching for potions but find none.
Okay.
The room brightens up with an otherworldly light. A flame atronach twists in the air, blocking your path. You can attack with weapon, cast spell, use shout, or flee. What would you like to do?
Use weapon.
Your war axe hacks the flame atronach. The flame atronach hurls a ball of fire at you. You take 16 damage. What would you like to do?
Shout.
Fusro.
Let it
Your
all
mighty
out.
shout slams the flame atronach into the dirt. The flame atronach hurls a ball of
Yeah.
fire at you. You
Uh-oh.
take 16 damage.
We're getting
What would you
fucked
like
up.
to do?
Yup.
Apply band-aids. I don't know. What's the options again? I know you're gonna tell me.
You can attack with weapon,
There it
cast
is.
spell, use shout, or flee.
Not
What
a lot
would
of
you like to do?
options. Shout.
Fusro.
Fusro,
Your
bitch.
unrelenting force throws the flame atronach back, staggering it.
Yeah.
Your thum grows mighty. Your shout skill has increased to level 4. The flame Atronach hurls a ball of fire at you. You take 16 damage. What would you like to do?
Use magic. Cast a spell, whatever it is.
You can attack with weapon, cast spell, use shout, or flee. What would you like to do?
Cast a spell.
Your frostbite stings the flame Atronach. It is encased in hoarfrost, as frozen as the throat of the world. You survived the battle. Your health is at 17. You have successfully cleared the mountain pass of evil. This should earn you a generous reward. You made it all the way around the mountain back to where you began. Funny how walking in a circle will do that.
Yeah, no shit.
The dark elf breathes a sigh of relief and thanks you for putting down every last one of those vile villains. They really had it coming. He tosses you a statue of Debella. Wait a second, this is stolen. You head out on the road. After breaking into several citizens' homes and stealing their valueless possessions, you run out of a town. Soon, you arrive at a crossroads. In one direction is a fortified town, in the other is an abandoned tower. Where would you like to go?
Abandoned tower.
You meet a wood elf mercenary at the abandoned tower.
Can't believe that
He's
fucking
lost
worked.
an item of great sentimental value, a bottle of cheap wine. He begs you to retrieve it for him. Will you lend your aid to this desperate mercenary?
Yes, of course.
Will you lend your aid to this desperate mercenary?
Yes.
You follow the quest marker to your destination. It's not clear where this cave will take you. You really don't have time for it to be Black Reach. Do you wish to proceed?
Yes.
Rows of mummified bodies line the walls. At least these dead are resting peacefully. The corpse of an ancient Nord rises up before you. It's a Draugr warrior. You can attack with weapon, cast spell, use shout, or flee. What would you like to do?
Attack with weapon.
Your war axe rends the Draugr warrior. Your foe has some resistance to that attack.
Of course.
Your skill with arms has increased to level 4. The Draugr warrior strikes you with its ancient sword.
I mean, you're
You
just
take 6
throwing
damage.
arms. Now
What
you
would you like to do?
We're gonna fucking die. Cast spell.
You can attack with weapon,
Damn it,
cast spell,
motherfucker.
use shout, or flee. What
Cast.
would you like to do?
Cast spell.
Your sparks shock the Draugr warrior. The Draugr warrior strikes you with its ancient sword. You take 6 damage. What would you like to do?
How are we not dead?
Cast
You can
spell.
attack with weapon, cast spell, use shout, or flee. What would you like to do?
Cast spell.
Your raised zombie bites the Draugr warrior. Your foe breathes its last. Necromancy is always so rewarding. You are victorious. Your health is at 88.
We are bad people
Your
in this
magicka
game.
swells with arcane power. Your magic skill has increased to level 4. You ignore the useless junk in the Draugr warrior's inventory and find an epic iron mace. Ooh, shiny. There are 2 ways forward, a partially collapsed mineshaft and a very smelly corridor. Which do you choose?
It's my turn or your turn?
Repeat.
There are 2 ways forward, a partially collapsed mineshaft and a very smelly corridor. Which do you choose?
A very smelly corridor.
There you go. It's perfect.
You move deeper into
You're
the
welcome,
cave.
honey.
The dim light of a torch dances softly across the cave walls. The corpse of an
So
ancient Nord
romantic.
rises up before you. It's a Draugr warrior. You can attack with weapon, cast spell, use shout, or flee. What would you like to do?
Cast spell.
Your frostbite chills the Draugr warrior. The Draugr warrior strikes you with its ancient sword. You take 6 damage. What would you like to do?
Use weapon.
Your mace utterly crushes the Draugr warrior. The Draugr warrior collapses to the ground, at long last given true eternal rest. You have triumphed. You have 82 health. There are 3 paths forward, a decaying old door, an excavated mineshaft,
Our
and a
health
rope
must
walkway to a
reset after
corridor.
each adventure.
Which do you choose?
What were our options?
I don't know.
Me neither.
There are 3 paths forward, a decaying old door, an excavated mineshaft, and a rope walkway to a corridor. Which do you choose?
Rope walkway.
There are 3 paths forward, a decaying old door, an excavated mineshaft, and a rope walkway to a corridor. Which do you choose?
Decaying door.
You move deeper into the cave. The dim light of a torch dances softly across the cave walls. The danger is almost palpable now. Your quest will be over soon, one way or another. A brutish Dremora churl awaits
Probably
you.
at the end of this episode.
He laughs maniacally. You can attack with weapon, cast spell, use shout, or flee. What would you like to do?
Flee!
You consider fleeing, then remember that you are Dovahkiin, and that you really want that quest reward.
My name is
You can
Bret.
attack with weapon, cast spell, use shout, or flee. What would you like to do?
You're up.
You consider fleeing, then remember that
Son
you
of
are
a whore.
Dovahkiin, and that you really want that quest reward. You can attack with weapon, cast spell, use shout, or flee. What would you like to do?
You shout. You shout.
Fusro. Your unrelenting force throws the Dremora churl back, staggering it. The Dremora churl blasts a stream of fire towards you. You take 9 damage.
Obviously not
What would you
staggered
like to do?
enough. Use weapon.
Your mace bashes the Dremora churl. The Dremora churl blasts a stream of fire towards you.
The fuck is
You
a
take 9
Dremora troll?
damage. What would you like to do?
Cast spell.
On the dreidel.
Your sparks zap the Dremora churl.
The
Your
Dremora
attack was
dreidel.
not very effective. The Dremora churl blasts a stream of fire towards you. You take 9 damage. What would you like to do?
Quit this game.
You can attack with weapon, cast spell, use shout, or flee. What would you like to do?
Use shout.
Fusro. Your
Fusroya!
unrelenting force throws the Dremora churl back, staggering it. The Dremora churl blasts a stream of fire towards you. You take 9 damage. What would you like to do?
Shout.
Fusro. Your mighty Thun crashes into your foe. The Dremora churl blasts a stream of fire towards you.
I bet I know
You
what
take
he's going
9
to do
damage.
next turn.
What would you like to do?
Blast a stream of fire at you?
Yeah, I think so. Use
I
weapon.
don't
You can
know why
attack with weapon,
you would think
cast
that.
spell, use shout, or flee.
Use
What would
weapon.
you like to do?
Use weapon. Use weapon.
Your mace thoroughly pounds the Dremora churl. The Dremora churl dies with a curse on its lips,
Woo!
unable to escape through the Daedric portal it summoned. You survived the battle. Your health is at 37. You pick up the bottle of cheap wine, determined to return it to its rightful owner. You hop down a ledge and find yourself at the cave's entrance. Neat.
Neat.
The wood elf mercenary thanks you for retrieving his bottle of cheap wine. How could he live with it? As a reward, he gives you a regifted note. You inspect the note. There's a bloody handprint in the words we know. We
Okay.
know why. You
Okay.
wonder?
So we just did all that shit to retrieve an old bottle of wine for a drunk ass elf or some shit.
Yep.
Is that what the actual game is like? Help me. God help me.
A little bit.
Oh my goodness. So glad for that. Anyway, I think that's going to do it for this episode. You know, time flies when you're shouting at a shut up, Amazon Echo. Time flies when you're having fun. Taylor, I enjoyed my time with you. Oh, she's still talking. God. Hey, this has been Let's Die, the His vs. Her Guide to the Apocalypse, the podcast. Oh my gosh, she won't stop. I'm unplugging her. There we go. There, she's dead. I killed her. She's murdered. She's dead. God. Follow us on Twitter at LetsDiePod, LetsDiePod@gmail.com, and Let's Die the Podcast at Facebook. Taylor, you got anything to say about all that which we just experienced?
She's funny sometimes.
Sometimes she's funny. Yeah. I'll roll with that. Sometimes she's funny. Skyrim Part 2. Woo! Thanks, guys. Bye. Taylor, say bye.
Bye.
Something horrible's just happened, Wes. Something horrible happened, Wes.